If you had to like sum up actually everything that you learned in the last year into like a few core learnings, what would the biggest ones be? Whether it's social or a growth tactic or just like the way you live your life now?
So I think this is an interesting question because what I have learned is not necessarily applicable to others.
Okay.
Right. I think that, and throughout this podcast, I'm sure that there are things that I've said that may seem like they're universally applicable, when in reality, they're probably just applicable to me. I would say that the number one thing that I've learned, a friend / mentor was telling me about how Peter Thiel does not give advice, right? He rarely gives advice on what you should do.
Certainly.
I think that the lesson here is that I don't think he doesn't give advice because he's not intelligent and because he hasn't learned a lot himself.
Obviously.
But because advice is rarely applicable to the masses. Things that I've learned that have worked for me will not necessarily work for other people. And now you take this on the flip side, things that people tell you to do and things that people say will work for you will not necessarily work. When I was graduating from school working on RizzGPT, everyone was like, dude, what the fuck? If you're going to pursue entrepreneurship, build something big, build something cool. I rejected that. And thankfully it ended up being a good decision. And I think that people in society, friends, family will tell us things that we should do because they want the best for us. They truly do. But it doesn't mean that they're right. And it doesn't mean that what worked for somebody else is going to work for you. And I want to apply that back to everything that I ever say. If I state something matter-of-factly, forgive my arrogance. I'm stating it because it worked for me. That doesn't mean that it will work for other people.
I think that's very true, actually. And even to add on that, I've noticed with a lot of the times that people gave me advice very strong and felt very strongly about the advice that they gave me. A lot of the time, I think they turned out wrong, especially when it came to like leaving school or picking the school that I actually went to, or some of the other kind of like career / like life decisions that I've made in the last, year. I think some of the things I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. It's very easy to like say something you strongly believe that is best for someone else. And then when you see the complete opposite working out for them, saying, you know what, you were always right. Mm-hmm. Or like, I see how that worked, or it would have been that like that for me, or like, I wanted the best for you.
Dude, that's okay. The number of people, and I'm sure you've experienced this too, the number of people that are like, I always knew it would work out for you. I always believed in you. But then you're like, shit, when it wasn't really working out, you were encouraging me to go the safe path and not to take the risks that ended up having the big returns. And once again, it's not because these people, it's not because they're haters a lot of the time. It's not because they don't want you to succeed or they're scared of seeing you succeed. It's because they don't know you like you know yourself. And if you know that you've got that fucking dog in you, then you've got to take the big shots.
I'm not even going to ask the last question. That was a good way to wrap things up.
Hell yeah.